Go. So yeah, Michael Shannon, I think he can pull it off. So we'll see, though.
Yeah, I'm starting to have more faith in Michael Shannon as Zod than I have before. So I can't wait to see what his performance like and his take on General Zod. So I really can't wait to see.
Yeah, me too. So let's jump into Faora, his second in command, the other Kryptonian villainess. So I'm not sure who's playing her, but I've never heard of her before. Have you?
Yeah, she's an unknown actress. She's from Germany, as a matter of fact. Her name is J. Trow.
Ooh.
And she's been in the only English language role she's ever been in was this film called Pandora. I have never seen it before.
I've heard of it.
Recently, she's been in 5 Days of War, which pretty got negative reviews based on what I've read. But I'm glad that they casted an unknown actress for this. I haven't seen up close what she looks like as Aurora.
Yeah.
I only seen what she looks like from the back. And judging from her costume, she looks pretty evil.
Yeah.
Like, queen. And so I'm kind of glad in the way they're approaching Aurora. Although honestly, I don't know who Aurora is. I don't know if she's like this new character or a different incarnation of Ursa.
Yeah, yeah.
I think she's like General Zod's wife or love interest or something. I don't know. Because in the film, based on these details that were leaked, she hates all men except for General Zod.
Which would be like Ursa.
Yeah.
So, knowing a little bit about Superman in the comics, I've never heard of her either. When I first heard the name, I'm like, that must be a new character. Because the character of Non, who was in Superman 1 and 2, was also never in the comics, as far as I know. And, in fact, mostly General Zod was always solo with a Kryptonian army of people who really don't get names. But, Non was also created for Superman 2, so it wouldn't surprise me that they're going to go for a new character here. As far as I know, I've never heard of her in the comics. But I agree with you. That back shot of her with that long black cape and that really upbringing collar, very, very intimidating.
Right.
And especially I like the cape because it's kind of like an anti-Superman cape. Like, it's all black and it's just as long and just as big. And it'll probably look great when she's flying.
Right.
If they're going to give her the same powers. Sorry, go on.
I said that they made her look very menacing, even though we only see like a back shot of her.
Yeah. I'm also glad that
keep going.
I'm also glad they're not doing her costume in CG too, as far as we can see. From the back, it looks like it's going to be mostly conventional, like Henry Cavill's Superman suit. So that's definitely a plus, especially if they're going to go for, like what I said, this anti-Superman look. So her costume looks fantastic. We'll have to see how she does, though. Michael Shannon is Zod.
Right.
So, what were you going to say?
I heard that what do you call it? Along with General Zod and Faora, I heard that Jack Sword is joining the Kryptonians as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, although it hasn't been confirmed who's going to play Jack Sword or not. And from the photos that have been leaked, we only see Faora and General Zod. But no, I strongly believe we'll see Jack Sword in it. But since this is a reboot, it slowly reminded me of Superman 2. It's starting to seem more like a remake of Superman 2 rather than a reboot.
Yeah.
The casting of General Zod and the Kryptonians is more like that. Like, to me, General Zod seems too much of a big character to already be in a reboot of Superman.
Yeah, so, I was kind of against him being the villain, too, at first. But, and the thing is that General Zod hasn't changed much in the comics ever since Terrence Stamp played him in Superman 2 and 1. So, I hope that Michael Shannon and all the Kryptonians go for a different approach, but, just looking at Faora's costume, she looks very similar to General Zod. His original costume in Superman 2 with the all-black thing.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. She looks cool so far.
Yeah. I recently Google image searched Anjay Trow, and she looks like she could play a Kryptonian villain, either Ursa or Hora. She looks like she's the perfect actress for the role.
Yeah.
She looks very menacing. She looks very threatening, and I think she can pull it off.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to see on that one. But she looks Kryptonian in the costume, definitely.
Right.
So what do you think of Russell Crowe as Jor-El?
Oh, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
After I heard the casting of Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, and Michael Shannon, then onto Russell Crowe as Jor-El, I thought that wow, Christopher Nolan is really doing the same thing he's done for Batman. He's getting these A-list actors and putting them in these really big roles, even putting some in little roles.
Yeah.
Russell Crowe as Jor-El, I think it's a very interesting choice, because I never thought in a million years Russell Crowe would ever be in a superhero film.
Yeah.
I thought he would always be like that type who plays he's very serious, dramatic, Academy Award winning roles.
Yeah.
I never thought he would ever play like Jor-El. that was very surprising for me. I heard that Sean Penn and Clive Owen were considered for the role before Russell Crowe, but I'm very interested on how Russell Crowe will play out his version of Jor-El.
Yeah.
I mean, we've already seen how Marlon Brando played out his, and he was very, very good.
He was fantastic.
So I don't know if Russell Crowe will channel Marlon Brando or create his own version of Jor-El, just like Michael Shannon's doing for General Zod. But I'm very excited to see what he's going to do with this. I hope we get like some sort of dialogue from him in a teaser trailer or not.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that.
I had kind of the same reaction. I thought he was perfect immediately. He definitely brought about them trying to take a similar approach to what Richard Donner did with casting Marlon Brando as Jor-El back in 1978, and he's definitely got the chops for it. He's definitely got that more dramatic flair to him, just like Marlon Brando does. And he says all his words with such like elegance and finesse that's perfect for Jor-El, who's this very well-spoken scientist who who's kind of trying to convince his entire world that it's going to explode, and he has to say goodbye to his son. I think that he can definitely bring that dramatic flair to it, just like Marlon Brando did. I think that he's definitely in the right age area too to play Jor-El. He doesn't have gray hair like he does in the comics or what Marlon Brando had, but he definitely looks the part, and I can imagine him in one of those white Kryptonian robes that Jor-El was known for from the '78 movie. See, I think it's fantastic casting so far.
Right. What I want to talk about is how do you think Jor-El's costume will look like in this version?
If they keep going with what I think they're doing and going more along the lines with modern comics, I think he might look a little bit like he did in Superman the Animated Series with that green kind of metallic jumpsuit kind of thing, instead of more the robe look that we got from Superman 1. And that's gonna be cool. He's got like this metal armor on and this head thing, like kind of a helmet. And if they do that, that'll look fantastic. And that might be why Michael Shannon has a CGI Kryptonian suit.
Right. Now
So,
for Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White. So what do you think about that, Jeff?
I love Lawrence Fishburne. He's a fantastic actor. And initially, I was a little bit polarized on him being cast as Perry White for obvious reasons. Lawrence Fishburne is a black man, and of course Perry White has always been depicted as white. But now thinking about it, who cares? He's perfect. he seems like he can get very, very angry very easily. He's a very determined man, and he seems like he can bring that flair to Perry White. And I don't care about his race. I think that he's going to do a fantastic job. And what I'm hoping is that since they have that star power of Lawrence Fishburne, that they use it, and they give Perry White a bigger role than he's had the chance to have in other Superman movies, where he's just kind of been in the background or a comic relief character. And I think with a powerhouse actor like Lawrence Fishburne, that could definitely be done. So that's my thought.
Right. My initial thought were the same as yours. Well, I thought, is he really the best choice for Perry White? But yeah, I got thinking, and I looked at his acting from before, like The Matrix, and all these things that he's done before.
Yeah.
And he's perfect for Perry White. He brings out that very hot-tempered editor-in-chief, much like J.J. Simmons brought with Jonah Jameson.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Perry White. I think Lawrence Fishburne will play a great Perry White. Probably a very lovable and funny Perry White, like we got in the Superman 1 and 2 films.
Yeah.
I'm all for Lawrence Fishburne as Perry White.
Yeah. One thing I wanted to bring about really quick was I know you haven't seen this show, but I want to talk about Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman for a second in relation to Perry White, because in that show, they made him Southern, and it was also a very different take on the character, and that turned out to be my favorite version of Perry White. And looking at that, Lawrence Fishburne could have filled the actor in that TV show, Lane Smith's shoes, very easily. He's not too angry, which is a good thing. And he's got that very monotone voice that seems like he just wants to get the truth in all his news stories. And yeah, I agree with you, he's perfect. This movie so far has fantastic casting.
All A-list actors in these very vivid, incredible roles.
Yeah.
Now, what about for Kevin Costner and Diane Lane as Jonathan and Martha Kent?
Fantastic casting again.
Yeah. I was surprised too. When I heard that Diane Lane and Kevin Costner were cast, I thought, wow, this is going to be an all A-list film.
Yeah.
And I thought they were the right actors for this, because originally I actually had the idea of what about Costner for Jonathan Kent? Because I don't know if you've seen Waterworld.
I have.
Any of the other films he's done, but he looks like he could make a great Jonathan Kent. He looks like the farmer type.
Yeah.
And I think he would do a great job on that. And Diane Lane too. Although Diane Lane, she doesn't seem like she's in the right age of Martha Kent.
Yeah.
Martha Kent, I usually imagine as this lovable grandma, and Diane Lane is 46 years old, around there. And
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not trying to be perverted, but she just looks like a very hot 40-year-old.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they're trying to go for the same approach as they did with the Martha Kent from Smallville, depicting a very grown up but not old version of Martha Kent. I don't know if they're trying to go for that, but I still think it's good casting nonetheless.
I agree. It seems to being very Smallville-esque in its casting of the Kents. Jonathan Kent, I forget who played him in Smallville, but Kevin Costner looks like him a lot. And when I heard Kevin Costner, I immediately thought he would look really great as kind of a beat-up old farmer. And going back to source material for a second, it seems to me like they're trying to go for a more Earth 1 look to the Kents, because in Earth 1, they weren't that old when Clark became Superman. They still had their normal hair, they weren't gray-haired, they were about maybe early 50s, and I think that's pretty good casting. I do agree, though, Diane Lane looks a little too young to play Martha Kent to me, but Kevin Costner looks fantastic.